Hi everyone, welcome back again to my channel. Yes, welcome back again to my channel. I'm glad to be here again with you. So if you're stopping here for the first time, I'm so glad you came. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Uche. I'm a mommy YouTuber based in Spain. I film about faith, marriage, motherhood, and lifestyle, and anything I'm inspired to talk about, and I feel it will add value or give you a sort of information. I'm always excited to share with you. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always being there for me. Your support, your thumbs up, and your comments are truly appreciated by more. Thank you so much. So from the thumbnail, you know what I want to talk about: my experience as a mother in Spain. I'm a Nigerian. If you've been following me, you know I'm a Nigerian. Back in Nigeria, though, I never had any sort of experience as a mother. I never had any biological child in Nigeria. So I didn't have any form of motherhood experience in Nigeria. I had all my 4 children here, even though there are things I saw, but personally, I never experienced anything. So I want to share some of my experiences that I have remembered and I thought I should share with you: the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you're interested to know what I want to ramble about today, please continue watching. And so, you know how it is when you get married and immediately, got married. Then after 1 year, he came and, I joined him after a year. And so, that kind of expectation, you just want to come and, become a mother by fire, by force. And so that was my expectation. That was my prayer. I wasn't thinking about the job, honestly, at that time. I just wanted to come, at least having 1 or 2 children before thinking of what next to do. And so by the grace of God, it worked out for me like that. So one of the things I experienced as a mother in Spain was, unlike what we used to here in Nigeria, how hostile the nurses are, and how bad they treated their patients and all that. Here is total different thing. Their nurses here are amazing. They will treat you like their own. I don't know. Some people say it's pretense, but what is my business? They treat you. Here I experienced love in terms of antenatal and all that. They will treat you well. I can remember when I had my first or my second. I think my second, not my first. My second child. So my husband, left home to take care of my second child because I asked him to leave. I could take care of. I was strong enough to take care of, the newborn baby. So in the night, I think the second day, the night I had my baby, I didn't lactate well. So the baby wasn't getting enough milk. So here they will not allow you to give a child any sort of substitute, except in rare cases. Okay, so they will want you to be giving the child, the more takes the milk, the more you have more milk. So they will not agree to give you any form of substitute. So that night my baby was crying. He wasn't having enough milk and I needed to sleep because all through I didn't sleep. So one of the nurses volunteered. I was so angry. I was like, this child is hungry. Give the child a little bit of substitute. Why we wait for the milk now to come? But they said it's a no. So, and I needed to sleep. So one of the nurses volunteered to help me take care of the child. In my room, she told one of her colleagues to take over what she was doing, and she came to the room and held my child, swinging him, even though I didn't sleep deep, but I had to rest for, let's say, 30 minutes or there, 45 minutes. Then the baby slept off and she had to give me my child. So that's one of the things. And you can never tell them thank you and they will tell you you're welcome. If you say thank you, they will tell you para qué, for what? They are doing their job. Or sometimes you say thank you, they say thank you to you. At least they are doing their job and you are appreciating it. Do you get? So they want to do their job perfectly, and they don't need you to say thank you because they will do it so well. If you appreciate it, fine. So I never experienced any form of hostility, unlike what I used to here. So here I'll give it to them. Their nurses are amazing. They try. Yeah, so and the second one is after childbirth. There's after childbirth, our maternity leave here. Before it was 3 months and Kasi 4 months, almost 4 months. It depends. If you're working and you want more, like me, I asked for extra 1 week or thereabouts, extra 2 weeks. So I stayed at home after my last child. I think Kasi 4 months and before I started work. So let's say 4 months. Okay. After that 4 months and you start work, there's a little amount of money they pay you if you're a mother and you're working and your child is less than a year. So they will pay you that amount of money until your child is 3 years and about to start school. Do you understand? So they will pay you that money monthly until your child. So for me, coming from Nigeria, that no one send you. If you have 10 for your pockets, if you have 11, now you know. So coming here knowing that really the government also have you in mind, knowing that it's not easy, that you're a mother and you're leaving your child to go to work and there is a kind of compensation. For me, that is a plus for them. It's an experience that I never heard, back then in Nigeria. So we experience it. So for me, I acknowledge it. Most times people say that Spain, they don't pay enough, but coming from where they don't give you anything. So any little they have given to me, I appreciate it. So I'll give them a plus for giving us that. And so that is one of the second thing I've experienced that I'm liking. So the third one is now, if you have like 3 children in Spain, there are some discounts they will give you. Maybe if you want to travel via train, bus, and other things. Even in school, there's a kind of reduction they will give you. If you're a mother of 3, there's a kind of reduction they will give you. Then if you're a mother of 3, the train fare, I think they give you 50% discount or thereabout, 50 or 40% discount. And so for me, that is also a plus for them, because it's not easy for that. And I think there are little assistance they give a lot. There are little assistance they give if you're a mother in Spain. Financial assistance if you're a mother. It's not a lot from, when we compare to other European countries. But for me, like I said, coming from a country that nobody cares, and they are giving, no matter how little, even if it's 50 euro, as long as they acknowledge that you need this and it could help you in one way or the other, it's a good thing. And if you're a mother as well and you're not working and your husband is working, there are also benefits. Some benefits they also give you. While if you're somebody that has one child and you want to have another and you're not ready to work, your husband is working, if they check and they feel the money will not be enough to take for your upkeep, there are little assistance they will give you while you're still managing. They will help you, but at least it's something. So for me, that's a lot for me. So these are some of the positive things I've experienced being a mother in Spain. However, there are some hard parts also of being a mother that I have experienced in Spain. One of this is, like I said, they will pamper you in the hospital, but as soon as you get home, you have the mentality that you are on your own. So because of the rigid nature of their immigration here, they will find it difficult to bring either of our parents, either our mother or our mother-in-law. It's very difficult. They make it so difficult. It's so rigid that you cannot. They will tell you, bring this thing tomorrow. The latest one I heard, someone said, before you apply, you have to buy a flight ticket for the person through and through. Then if this is not accepted, if your request is not accepted, then you apply again. You have to buy another flight ticket. Add to the requirement, so you will bring more and they tell you to bring. So at the time you get tired, it will be obvious to you that they're not going to do anything. And some of the things, the documents they will ask might be very difficult. You'll be asking yourself, where am I going to get this document? So most people, one of the reasons that I heard is that they said they are not the country that colonized us. I don't know how true that is, because I don't understand why they will be that rigid in their immigration towards us, like Nigerians, Ghanaians. There are some African countries though that they bring their parents. That's the country they colonized. Some of the African countries, yes, but for us it's very difficult for us. So that's why most of us don't bring our parents. So that's one of the things. And so they make it difficult for us. We don't have help here. Okay. So when you have your child, it's just you and your husband. Somehow we are lucky that they give the men paternity leave. Before it was 1 month, but 1 month, but now it's 3 months. So it's just you and your husband. In which way, you had your baby is not their problem. As long as you leave the house, as long as you immediately you leave the hospital, you bear in mind you're basically going to live a normal life, unlike what we used to know in Nigeria. Omogo, your mother will be there. After your mother-in-law will come. After your mother-in-law, your siblings, your cousins, everybody's around to help you. You can imagine that first 2 months that the baby doesn't sleep at night. You'll be awake with the baby, feeding the baby. Then in the morning, if you have an older child to prepare for school, then when the baby is sleeping, you will still be awake preparing this other one to school. Nobody to help you. By the time you're done, and before you're done taking this one to school, the baby is awake. And so you find out the first 2-3 months that you had your baby, you will not every day, you will not have like more than 5 hours. That is if you even have up to 5 hours to rest as a new mom. So that one is is a very hard part and very emotional for me, because when I had my children, my mother was there ready to come, but they couldn't accept. So that one is for me is very bad. It's very bad for us. So that's one of the hardest experience I had to is a hard pill I needed to swallow. So it's very, very difficult. So we had to deal with it. There's nothing we can do. We left our country to come here. So you're basically going to start living a normal life from the time you left the hospital to the time you get to your house. You just live a normal life. There are rare cases when you have, a friend or a relation that has, her own business, is self-employed, that can leave her shop or her business to come and take care of your child. But most times it doesn't get up to 3 weeks, because everybody has his or her family, and also they don't have help. So they will basically help you for the few time they can, and you continue from, but it's a very difficult time for us. So another thing, I've talked about the omogo and I've talked about no help. The next thing I want to talk about now is the school. Their school system is good. However, when you register your child for school, you'll be told that if your child is quiet and you notice any kind of attitude, if your child is too quiet, or you feel that your child is having a little bit of fever, you're not sure, the best thing you will do is calling on the phone and telling them that your child will not be coming to school. Do you know why? Because if the child comes to school and the child is running temperature, they will not give that child any form of first aid, except the only time they can treat your child is maybe if the child has a form of injury or some. But if he's taking any form of medication, the school will not give your child any form of medication. If it's fever, they will not give simple paracetamol. They will not. Sometimes if you come to school and say, let me give the child paracetamol, then I'll go. No, you have to take your child home. Imagine if your child was okay, because you cannot predict. Your child was okay and you're a working mother and you're on your way to work, or you're just getting to work, and the school now calls you and tells you your child is running fever. Nobody's going to give your child anything. So you have to take permission from work and start going home, or you have to call your husband. So that's why most of us here, we have to, be careful with our shifts. Is it that your husband is working in the morning, you're working in the afternoon, or you're working in the afternoon, your husband is working in the morning or in the night, just like that. So that cases like this, one person can go to school and pick the child, or if there's anything, really, you can, one person will be there. And so for me, that is not, for me, that's very hard, because as a mother, if you're called and if you're working and you're called, and sometimes the way they will sound self, you will lose control and appetite of the work and everything. So for me, that makes a parent or a mother nervous. It's good, but for me, it makes life very stressful for us. Okay, that is another thing. Then the next one is control. Here in Spain, you're the mother of 100% control over your children. What I mean is this: it's not that here they don't interfere. In Spain, they don't interfere that much. unlike what I used to hear from other European countries, they don't interfere. But the only time you invite them into your case is maybe as a mother. Sometimes you might be cooking and you think you have, let's say, salt, and when it's time to put the salt, you will not see the salt. And drugstore, a shop downstairs that you want to get the salt, and your children are weak, and your children are underage, maybe from 6 to 1 year, and you have like 3 of them. It's the only option you have to do is to put off the light and take all your children downstairs and just buy the salt and come up. Or you just have to wait until your husband comes back. Do you understand? You don't have to leave your children out, because if anything happens to them and you invite the police and they discover that you left your children that are less than 4 years or less than 6 years old, and you left wherever it is that you left to, and they come back and find out that you left your children, if you're not careful, your children will be taken from you. So that's the controller that I really do not like. It's good in a way, but it's not good, because sometimes you know your children, and you know that you can tell them, sit down here, I'm coming in 5 minutes, and you just get something downstairs and you're coming up. I don't know if you're getting me. Maybe they are watching telly, but because of the control here, you have to dress them up. Even if the weather is very cold, you have to dress them just because of salt or because of Maggi. You have to dress your children, all of them, up. If you have 3, if you have 4 that are below that age, you have to dress them up and go carry your children to that shop, come up. By that time, you lose appetite of cooking self or eating. So that's one aspect I really do not like. So if you happen to leave your children self and you buy the whatever, the way you'll be running like an armed robber, like somebody is chasing you. So that makes us, the fact that we don't have helps here, and you're thinking about and a lot of, so that makes us a bit nervous. When maybe if you leave your kids and you just want to buy something, you're always nervous. Sometimes you'll be hearing that maybe your child is crying when your children are just there. So that's another aspect of motherhood experience that I really do not like that in Spain. We know our children, and I think we know how to take care of them. From where we came from, we know where and how to handle them. So that aspect I really do not like. Another aspect I really do not like here is this aspect of uniform. I know it's not only Spain, but personally, I do not like it. From Nigeria, we have uniforms, okay? And that uniform for me is better, especially here. Okay, we have summer, we have winter, we have spring. On Friday, I took not less than 5 hours trying to sort out clothes. Some of them, some of the clothes, they have outgrown it, and you don't even know when. So that makes most mothers, most parents here, we spend a lot of money buying clothes for children. And sometimes they outgrow them, you will not know. And we have plenty clothes at home. You pack the ones for summer separate. When it's time, now they're about to start school, it's getting to spring. You bring out the spring clothes, the ones that are, check the ones that are good. You will not throw away, because I don't know how to explain this thing, but for me, I prefer if Spain was a country that used uniforms, school uniforms for children, we wouldn't mind buying 5, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, straight for them, because we spend a lot of clothes, because they will go to school. Imagine if you buy, trousers and top. Children, they play. I remember one time my first son and my second son, they were in school. You will come back 1 week, their trousers are torn. Imagine if you buy that kind of trouser, 20 euro each. Then the next week you go and buy another, because you will not want, for your children to look unkept, when they are going to school. They will tear. You will still go back and buy another one. They will still tear. Just like that. Sometimes you want to patch. From that place you patch, there's a way they patch trousers for children when it is torn a little bit. There's something they sell specifically for a patch that you just use iron. And I don't know if you know that you use iron and press it in. If you buy it from that patch, they will still tear it again. So it makes work very difficult for us. If you're working on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then Saturday that you use it to mend clothes, instead of just washing their uniforms. You can buy two for them. It will be a whole lot easier and cheaper for mothers and for parents in general. This last week, they are going to resume school on Monday. This last week, if you go to shops at the center, parents everywhere, and that's the way it will continue. As long as now that school has resumed, that's the way it will be, because we are constantly buying clothes for the children. For school, you buy for church, you buy for school, you buy for casual, you buy for winter, you just like that every time. So for me, it's very, very stressful, and it's money sapping, por favor. So for me, that's another aspect of the system here that I really do not like. Is this one is not that serious. Is the fact that in Nigeria, our official language is English. Here they teach them English, but not as much as we do. The official language here is Spanish, and which is good, because Spanish is also a very good language. So they don't teach them English as much. So that makes us have more jobs. When they teach them English, you try to expand it on Saturdays, like we teach them, because they teach them very well here in Spain. But the problem I'm having sometimes is, sometimes they try, just like Nigerians, will try to put our native tongue in English. So that same way, sometimes they want to put their native language to speak English. If you come to Spain, you will see like 5 children that have different accents of English. This one will speak American English, this one will speak Spanish English, this one will speak Nigerian English. So that is what it is. This one is not that serious, because eventually, at the end of the day, they all speak English as they grow, because they teach them English in school. But like I said, not as deep as we would want them to. So that adds extra effort for us, because we make effort to teach them more. No, this one is personal. I make effort to teach them more, because I don't know why, but I'm not always comfortable when they speak their Spanish English. So that makes me put more extra effort. And last but not the least is the fact that they stare a lot when you have a lot of children. They will stare at you, they will stare, and you want to fall down. So they look at us, especially when you have more than 3 children. If you go outside, they will be staring at you like, how are you coping? You become an object of concern. How are you coping? The way they will call you, they will stop you. They have time. Spanish people, they have time. They will call you, que guapo. They will start with saying, hey, que guapo, as in your son is handsome. Then they will ask you, are they all your children? You say, hey, yes, and they will start. How do you cope with all these boys? And they will finish you, and you're going, they are still staring at you, like they look at you with pity. Some look at you, they are happy, they will say, this nice and all that. But most of them will look at you like, oh my God, what has this woman gotten herself into? But that's not how we Africans, Nigerians, that's not how we see it. So that is some of the things I experience as a mother. But this is not in any way to scare anybody. If your husband is in Spain and you want to join your husband, please be free. Because most of these things I'm talking about, like the uniform and all this, the clothes that, tear and all that. Now my children are grown. My first and my second and my third. Their clothes don't tear as much. They don't tear at all, because they are kind of grown. So you still have to buy clothes, but not like, when they are starting up, that you buy clothes every week, almost every week. So don't be scared. Join your husband. Don't forget, God said, what a man will leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife. So don't be scared of coming to cleave with your husband. It gets better by the day. Okay, so this is not in any way to scare you. This is just to tell you my experience. They have good side, and they also have, just like every other country, but this is my personal experience. So I want to know where you are, the country that you are. Let me know the experience, the good, the bad, the ugly of some of the things you pass through in your own country. I would like them in the comment section. And if you enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and I'll see you very, very soon in my next one. Bye.